With Trustee Hunt, I wouldn't vote for this fee. For that reason, I just want to see the data to make sure we know who's not doing their lawn, is there repeat offenders, and let staff look at that.
I think this is a public safety issue though. So
It's
if
still charged.
people are unable to maintain a safe environment for the public, I feel that there should be some sort of punishment or at least encouragement for them to, incentive, let's just say, I guess this is really a deterrent, but I mean, we do have programs in this village. And if people are elderly and do need assistance, they can contact the village. We have the Senior Resource Center. We have programs that a lot of volunteers and a lot of, and that we actually pay money into too as a village. So we do have those resources, and I would hope that, and I know our police department's good with this too, we're a small village, so if there are people that are struggling and that do need help, that we do reach out to those people. This is not, this is not Chicago or Milwaukee. We know our neighbors for the most part. So I understand that. In the absence of that, I would not feel, I don't think that there are a lot of people who are repeat offenders that can afford to have their snow removed by other people or themselves. And it is a public safety issue. The grass, okay, that's more of a aesthetics, right? But still, property values, etc. But being able to walk safely on the sidewalks in the winter, whether you're elderly, whether you have young kids, whether you're, whatever the case may be, is something that we owe our village. So how we get there, I don't know. And I know from attending pedestrian bike safety committee meetings in the past, that if you look at how many people get cited for this in the winter, it is pretty extensive.
So do you know how many we get cited at $12? I know you're just increasing the fee, the punitive part, but is there a number of how many get cited?
Well, again, that's a police issue. That's really not an enforcement issue. The practice at the enforcement level, we call a contractor to come pay for that. It's just a bill that costs the contractor to physically take care of the activity.
Do you know how many?
$12.
No, okay.
The administrative fees will cover the background costs of making the whole thing possible. And again, this is just part of a broader process, identifying gaps, where significant staff resources are being spent. So I don't have any more specific information at this time.
Does any other, before I call in the residents and trustee want to make any more questions?
Oh, I was just going to say that, we'll have to turn it on a little bit here, but there's a little bit of mitigation built in because they're not getting this $50 fee at the first notice, as I understand it. They're getting it at the second notice when there's actually needs to be remediation of the issue. Secondly, I agree with Trustee Bachhorst. Part of what we pride ourselves on is it being a walkable community. I know my mother, who's 76 years old, walks the community each and every day. So I think that there's always that safety concern as well. So that's why I'm inclined to support this.
Right, it is avoidable.
And with the motion that was presented, it is, it's understood that we give a notice first? Okay. Any other further questions or comments from trustees? If not, just state your name and address, please.
Donna Pollock. I first of all agree that the sidewalks, when I used to run on Lake Drive, if anything bugged me more was when they had the professional plow out their driveway, and I'd be hopping over snowbanks because they didn't do their sidewalks, okay? So I'm very sensitive to that, and I think we are a walkable community. However, I think one thing that's not mentioned here, you get a ticket. You get a ticket that's, I think, $74 or $84 from the police department for not cleaning up your sidewalks. So there is, it's not just this $12 fee.
Right.
And that's the only thing that I think is missing in this conversation. So I'm just saying, if you don't clean up your sidewalk within X amount of hours, you get a notice, and then you get a ticket. So I know people who have received that, and as it should be. just mentioning that. So would this $50 and, fee be in addition to a ticket? And then, that's a lot of money. I mean, but people, maybe they need that, I don't know.
Thank you.
Is it $12? That seems kind of, what was the actual cost of removal?
It's way more.
Well, it takes 15 minutes for them to stop by and
So it's,
sweep out a 60-foot sidewalk. It's, $12, $18, $20, I mean, it's a function of time and
Right.
snow levels, so.
What does this ticket pay for, the $74?
That's a municipal code violation, it doesn't have anything to do with it, this is about an administrative program. And calling for remediation.
I mean, if you contract with a professional company to clear your walk, it's a lot more than $12
Yeah.
a time.
I see what you're saying. For repeat offenders, they probably do it, so that's why I asked the question, is this mostly commercial? And I know there's residential out there that are getting tickets, and that's probably a lot. But if it's commercial and they're repeating it, it's because similar to the liquor license late fee, that's cheaper than them hiring. It would be cheaper for a business than to hire someone to do their own snow removal. So there's a happy balance, but I don't have the data. I totally agree with everything that everyone's saying about being a walkable community. I just want to know who we would be increasing this fee upon, and if it's a clump of, say, commercial property owners rather than residential, I would like to know that so we can structure it. Any others? Rosie?
Yeah, Rosie
Just state your
Braddock.
name and address.
Rosie Braddock, 4248 North Ardmore Avenue. I recall getting a letter talking about this fee that Donna was talking about, but it also included information about the fact that if I didn't clean up my sidewalk, I didn't get the letter. But if the person didn't clean up their sidewalk within 12 hours, someone would be sent out to do it and the resident would be charged a fee. So is that still in place? I remember.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's still in place. So someone comes out, cleans your sidewalk for you, and sends you a bill, correct? So that kind of takes care of everything that you're talking about.
Except for we have a huge budget gap and there's an administrative fee.
Yeah, I think this is to cover the
Thank you.
Administration of the
Yeah.
building, sending them out,
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
letters. and-
Okay, any further discussion on this? Did someone make a motion?
So I have a question.
Yes.
So if we were not to do this, then we would be losing money? Is that what or is this a cost neutral or is this a revenue generator?
It's more covering the cost.
Okay, so if
This is a new fee,
I understand.
so not doing it does not change the status quo. Doing it implements a fee that's, approximates a reasonable, because there's so many people who ultimately get their knowledge, they take their sidewalks. But we still are doing our business, but it never comes to calling somebody in to, 2 days after the fact, clean the sidewalk up. But for those that we get to that point, it's a picking a number, saying that, is it $20, is it $50? Depends on the year, depends on the
So
amount of
it's to
snow.
cover staff costs, administrative costs.
Staff and the underlying for snow, there's a $1,800 contract. And then we have staff that does the grass and lawn ordinance enforcement in the summer.
So in effect, the taxpayers have been subsidizing the delinquents in the past.
Does it cover the cost is what the trustees want to know. Right now, are we covering our costs with the $12 fee?
We're not-
Well, $50 would not cover costs, but it's.
Okay,
it's-
right.
Would 100?
I'd be hesitant to start suggesting, depending on the frequency of people who actually have to have service. Because quite honestly, by the time you call for the service, sometimes they get their matter taken care of while they're scheduling the on-site visit. So
Can I
it's
just
complicated
make a request?
process, but it's.
It makes better decision-making when you can say, last year, this is how many calls we had, this is how many times we implemented the service, we charged $12, here's what our revenue was. With an increase to $50, we're gonna, if it was the same service calls, we would get this much more revenue. I don't know what I'm voting on, and I don't know who's making, if they're repeat offenders, if they're elderly, so I want to support this, like to increase the fee. I also don't know if we're not covering our costs by 50 what's the number that covers that cost for the year? I mean, we have the number we paid out, and how many, you know, you're saying 50 won't cover the cost, is it 100? I just want to pick the right level.
So what are you proposing, to not take a vote or to
No, we'll vote.
come back?
I just, in the future, when we propose fees, I just would rather have the data, so I know.
And we
what-
can change this, and we also have budget cycle coming up, so what's probably a number that we'd wanna know is how much are we subsidizing as a community for these, you know, not collecting fees for things, for services that we're providing subset. So if we don't do that, if we vote against this tonight, we're saying that we're gonna continue to allow a budget deficit here. And we can always change that amount.
What we're saying, that's not what he said, that's not what he said.
Okay,
Could we call that a question?
sure. All those in, can you repeat the motion?
To approve adding to the village fee schedule an administrative fee of $50 in addition to cost of service for delinquent property maintenance actions.
Is that increasing the fee to 50?
Starting,
These are gaps, so just, you know.
starting January 1st of 2019.
Can I just ask one question? So what happens to the $12 fee?
I don't know,
There's no-
what are we talking about?
There's a fee, you get a ticket from the police department, but then if they have to come out and shovel, you get charged for the cost, the cost to shovel. If you have a large corner lot, it's gonna take more time, so your cost that you will be billed is more. The $50 is for the staff to bill you, to process the payment. 50 is a reasonable amount, and if you don't pay, then go at with it. It's year-end list going
This is
after.
administrative fee plus cost,
But I'm asking, what's the cost right now? It says 1,800 per
depending
year.
on how long it takes.
Oh, okay, so it's flexible, it could be 12, it could be 20, it could be,
Depends on
okay.
specifics, sorry.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor, do we have a second?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Motion carries 5-7. 5-2. Seven total.
I'd
Thank
like
you.
to make a request to take a break, but then I'd also like to ask that we move up the last agenda item on refuse collections utility, because I know that some members of our conservation committee are here, and I'm not sure they want to sit around till midnight and wait for us to get to it at the end of the meeting. So
Can I ask another question too? I had said to the board members, we were gonna stop our meetings at 9:30. And so if someone wants to make a motion to adjourn, I just want to point that out, that I made that commitment to tell everyone it's 9:30. And if we'd like to adjourn and follow up at the next meeting, we can do so.
So could we take these one at a time?
Sure.
So if we want to do a break, is that what you're suggesting?
Mhm.
That we go on that first, because I'd like to look at and see what we're moving up
Oh.
before I determine, because given that it's already 9:30.
Okay.
What do you need from us?
So,
I'm proposing to take a 3-minute break.
That's
all
okay.
I have to work on it.
okay, you're ready to vote on that, right? Okay.
I was like, do we have to make a
I know, I'm like, I'm not sure.
So the girl will do that.